Welcome to the Tetris Effect Mood Matrix. Patent not pending because you can't patent something that already has a registered trademark within its own title. I'm pretty sure it's a no-no. So this is the unofficial Tetris Effect Mood Matrix. Please do not call it official. In my hour-long Tetris review, I playfully alluded to the fact that all 27 stages of Tetris Effect could be identified as individual moods or emotions.
Emotionally thriving for me that I even said as a joke, I don't understand real emotions now. I only understand emotions in Tetris Effect levels. And someone asked, where's the mood metrics that help me out? So 4 years later, the Tetris Effect Mood Matrix, coming soon, or it's already out now. I don't know my release schedule.
Tetris Effect has a wide range of aesthetics, despite the fact that that word has been punched into the ground and deemed essentially useless at this point because everything is an aesthetic. Each stage has its own very distinct visual look to it. It has its own music to accompany that look, and it pairs very well. And my favorite part, there's a rotating sound that is specific to each 27 stages that exist in Tetris Effect. It's amazing that when you rotate a piece, you're adding and building to the music that is already naturally in place for the stage. It's truly brilliant. These developers worked very hard to really create 27 unique stages. It's, quite frankly, a bomb. It's the reason why I deem this game the perfect game for a mood matrix, so to speak. And to kind of make this seem more believable and plausible, you're going to have to buy into the idea that I, in fact, do not understand human emotions and have a hard time distinguishing how people are truly feeling. I'll pretend I lack empathy. I'm apathetic to everything. Please understand this. This is part of the bit for this video in order for this to truly work out, I guess. So let's further explain why this has to be believable. Human emotions are difficult to understand. There are many subtleties to how people react and emote. So you have to really be understanding of how a person is moving and how their face moves. It's a lot of work. I don't got time to run equations in my head while I'm trying to understand what you're saying to me. And then I have to react to all of that information that's been thrown at me in the past 5 seconds. It's very difficult. I'm not smart. So let's have an anecdote, I guess, about how I'm not good at picking up on people's emotions. I guess maybe, I don't know. We'll see how this works. While in high school, I'm sure there are 3 instances in which there were people that actually wanted to date me, I guess, which is wild when you really think about it, especially when you think about who I was as a high schooler, and by that I mean incredibly dry and came off as very rude or mean to people, even though I was just trying to be funny in my sense of humor that my parents have cursed me with, and by parents I mainly mean my dad, who once said, "Attention Walmart sharpers. Can I have attention in the courtroom?" He is a judge. He said that to people for a case he was presiding over. 2 of these people, I guess, maybe vying for my attention were I'm unsure about. I'm not 100% certain that I'm getting this right. Even back then, I'm not sure I'm 100% right that this happened the way it happened, or if that's where their true intent at the time, but we will explain it nonetheless, because I don't know how long this video is going to be, so let's pat the time with some fun stories, or not fun. One of those people was someone in my freshman year English class. I guess that would also make them a freshman. In my English class in high school, we were doing, in our second semester, we were doing Greek gods and Romeo and Juliet. Greek gods are something I know very ins and outs very well. And Romeo and Juliet, it was the Shakespeare play I was learning for the 3rd time in as many years, or at least being a part of my curriculum in some form or fashion, that being learning it as a 7th grader, then performing a play of it in 8th grade, and then once again as a freshman in high school doing yet another learning of Romeo and Juliet. I'm pretty sure in 6th grade I also did another reading of Romeo and Juliet. They teach that a lot. I'm pretty sure I did that in goddamn college in my freshman year lit class. Whatever, man. Anyways, I phoned it in because those were all things I'm very comfortable in. You want to know how confident I am in during that time in my Romeo and Juliet studies? I phoned in the entire assignments, and then when the test rolled around, I got all but one question wrong on the Scantron, and thus had decided to bomb my final essay because I couldn't be asked to write in a nonsensical writing format where thesis statements have to be backed up with 3 separate paragraphs in which you are then trying to once again reinforce your thesis statement. I don't write like that. Have you seen my Tetris review? Have you seen my Eddie McDowd versus My Name is Earl video? It's all nonsense stream of conscience. Anyways, I was singled out along with another student as doing very good for some reason. And after school, I thought I heard this person next to me say, "Hey, Ted, what are you doing this weekend?" Now, I think they said this. Actually, I don't say I think. I'm like 85% sure they said this. But I don't know what their intent was because 1, I didn't look in their direction because they didn't say it to my face. And 2, I don't pay attention. Like a lot of the time. And especially in high school when I was 90% of the time always listening to music and just staring off, waiting to be picked up so I can go home and not have to do homework. Also, this was someone who, after that moment, did not speak to me for the next 3 years of our high school life. So I don't know what their intention was. Maybe it was a nice lamau to have with their friends. Look at the funny boy. Let's see if he has friends. That went a lot darker than it was in my script. The second person I am unsure about was someone in my 2nd year Japanese class that I took off my high school grounds. It was like an auxiliary class, I guess. And this person stared at me a lot, I'm pretty sure. But what I do remember, and I'm 65% sure this happened, was one time we were going around, doing sentence probably about syntax or like understanding a new, particle in Japanese grammar that I never really understood. But I'm pretty sure this person, while staring directly at me, said, "Watashi wa Tedo ga suki desu," which essentially means, I like Ted. Now, I'm not sure that's what they said because I barely paid attention in school. And this was for all classes, and especially for a class that I opted into. I didn't have to take this class, but I did anyways. I was just stare off and think about literally anything else. Suffice to say that if these 2 people actually liked me for whatever reason, I'm an idiot. But if they didn't, saved myself the getting my hopes up. Now, you're probably wondering about this third person. This third person was in a class I TA'd for. I'm pretty sure they liked me. Actually, I'm not pretty sure. I know for a fact they liked me. And then it was then confirmed to me by my friend who knew this person. And he said, "Oh, I think so-and-so said they liked you." And I said, "I know. I just didn't do anything." Because that's the kind of person I am. Very uninterested in any relationship ever. It's probably why I always feel like I'm asexual for some reason. This might not make it into the video. So now that I've clarified that I'm an emotional idiot for comedic effect, let's get into how we have decided to grade these levels to get a mood. I started this process, my research phase, as making a spreadsheet with all the stages and each pass I did to figure out what kind of temperature they felt. And I had 12? I feel like 12 ranges of color to assign them to based on how cool or warm they were. I figured this out by going on Premiere and watching the theater mode, or my playthrough of Tetris Effect to see how it made me feel based on the certain criteria I made. I decided to scrap all that information because I thought that would create a video that would be longer than my Tetris review, and I didn't really want to do another hour-long video yet. So what I did was just take the notes I had taken for the last pass I had done for each level and use those notes to kind of create this mood board for these 27 stages. Another reason why I felt this way was because I felt like I was assigning numbers to emotions, and that felt wrong. Humans are very complex people. We do things that don't make sense at the end of the day. We're fans of sports, even though it most likely will lead to heartbreak. We go get in relationships that most likely lead into heartbreak. We do things that don't make sense because we rationalize it as being good, even though it might be bad. So putting numbers and then averages with that didn't feel right. Just going based purely on how I felt in that moment made more sense. Also, I'm going to get through these stages as quickly as possible because there are 27 stages. And if I spend at least a minute on each of those stages, that is 27 minutes, plus however much that mess before this moment right now was. So I don't want to do a 30-minute video. Let's hope for 15. If this video's 15 minutes, I fucking knocked it out of the park, and you should be congratulating me that I even managed to make this one as short as it is. These clarifications out of the way, let's keep this nice, tight, and abbreviated and go through each 27 stage. The deep, calming, with a light melody, but as it gets deeper, feeling of insignificance takes over. The deep. Pharaoh's Code, mysterious with all the hieroglyphics floating around. Really want to understand and learn their secrets. Pharaoh's Code. Karma's Wheel. What's with all these wheels? Wait, they're multiplying. Okay, stop this. This is incredibly suffocating. Karma's Wheel. Jellyfish Chorus. Jellyfish just hanging out, minding you no business. Just listlessly floating about, not a care in the world. Just wandering aimlessly. Jellyfish Chorus. Da Vinci. Hey, this is pretty chill. What? Why is time moving faster? Why am I getting old? I'm fearing for what time means and how it's a man-made construct. Da Vinci. Prayer Circle. I dig what's going on here. Gems spinning, like I'm falling up. I can really fuck with this. Prayer Circle. Ritual Passing. This is way intense, and it's intense about something I don't really understand. Can you guys chill? I'm uncomfortable with your commitment to this. Ritual Passing. Deserted. Not really deserted, just going on our way. More nomadic than deserted. I don't know where we're going or what the destination is, but sometimes you gotta understand it's time to move on. Deserted. Dolphin Surf. Guess these dolphins know where I should be going. It's nice to be dragged somewhere without having to worry myself. Just along for the ride with my brain off. Dolphin Surf. Downtown Jazz. Yo, this is a good time. I'm up, I'm moving, I'm loving life. This has an energy to it, and it really speaks to me. And that energy is we live in. Downtown Jazz. Spirit Canyon. I'm stuck in this hole, but it's chill. I'm seeing things I wasn't expecting. Sucks, but, it feels like I'm on a visual journey. Spirit Canyon. Jewel Vale. What? Sorry, I lost track. I got sucked in to Jewel Vale. Forest Dawn. A nice tranquil walk through the forest while it's raining. No real care, just walking in nature, reveling in what the environment has to offer. Truly no worries. Forest Dawn. Kaleidoscope. Childlike wonderment. Wow, look at all these colors and the shapes. Ooh, fun. Kaleidoscope. Turtle Dream. Drifting in a dreamlike state, no real worries, just going along more in your head than what's happening around you. Turtle Dream. Celebration. Yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. Fireworks going off because, hey, look, you did the thing. It's a good time because, you know, we did the thing. We won. Celebration. Sunset breeze. You know when you wake up and you just want to spend all day in bed, reading a book, time passes by, but you got no real worry. You're just trying to be as cozy as you can be in bed. Sunset breeze. Aurora Peak. Exhilarating to be at the top of the mountain, seeing the sights from so high up. You've reached the peak. An emotional high. What? Aurora Borealis at this time of year? Aurora Peak. Zen blossoms. Meditative. Relaxing just to hang out and breathe. Now is the time to calm down and reflect. Zen blossoms. Yin and yang. You'd think balance and harmony, but what it really is combative and fighting for supremacy. You are at odds with yourself, trying to figure out how you truly feel and what side you fall on. Yin and yang. Hula soul. It's calm up until it reaches that boiling point and explodes. You've reached the end of your rope and you gotta let it out. Hula soul. Starfall. Stars in the sky, looking at the possibilities. Room to grow. The sky isn't just the limit. You should really be shooting for the stars. Starfall. Balloon high. Let's get there. Let's go up and get as high as possible. But the thing is, we're human and we understand our limits, and we have to keep our heads on straight. Icarus and all that. Balloon high. Mermaid Cove. Feeling invited in an unfamiliar area. The sirens are calling out to you, but this time it isn't a trap. You're being welcomed, and you should feel safe. Mermaid Cove. Orbit. We out here looking down, hard work reaching far beyond what we could have done before. We are feasibly as far as we can get to at this moment, and we've reached our new peak. Orbit. Stratosphere. We're flying in the sky, seeing the landscape. It's pretty chill, but also fucking terrifying. We are moving so fast, and it's a little anxious. I think I might fall, and if we don't pull over, I'm gonna vomit. Stratosphere. Metamorphosis. The culmination of everything you've learned, no matter how insignificant it might be. You have learned and grown, and everything you've gained is laid out before you, and you feel finished, complete, like you're ready to go on to your next stage in life. Nothing more needs to be said about this moment. You're ready for the next one. Metamorphosis. That took a turn to what I wasn't expecting. This isn't really a mood matrix anymore, eh? It sort of turned into just like some surrealist nightmare trying to put together what emotions really are. So really this is just a surrealist view at emotions from Tetris Effect. I guess I'm just a surrealist now. That's a bummer. This isn't really a mood matrix. It's just a weird surrealist mood board, I guess. No emotion to it. I really wasted my time with this. That's a lot of work down the drain. Why don't they got a mood for that?